romance of Helen Trent, who sets out to prove that just because a woman is 35 or over, romance in life need not be over.
I hope not. Good afternoon, Miss Hannigan. What's the matter? Warwick's fed up with Annie already? On the contrary.
Miss Hannigan, this has to be signed and sent back to the Board of Orphans no later than 10 o'clock tomorrow.
What for?
Because Mr. Warbucks is so taken with Annie that he wants to adopt her.
Annie is the daughter of a millionaire?
The daughter of a billionaire.
Would you excuse me for a moment, please? Got any more wonderful news?
Merry Christmas, Miss Hannigan.
Pardon me, Tux. Hi, sis. Long time no see.
Brewster, they finally let you out of prison? What was you in for this time?
Some old geezers I swindled them out $1,100.
Why'd he say that?
The rooster, so wasn't it out of $1,100?
Sis, I'd like to meet a friend of mine from
Jersey City.
Brewster, do me a favor. Get out of here.
So, who is the gal I bumped into when I come in? Looked like she had a couple of dollars.
She works for Oliver Warbucks.
The Oliver Warbucks?
Annie, one of the orphans from here, is getting adopted by him.
From your family.
Yep, living in the lap of luxury. Well, the two Hannigan kids ended up on the skids. It ain't fair how we scrounge for $3 or $4. Well, she gets $4.
The little brat. It ain't fair, this here life is driving me nuts. While we get peanuts, she's living that.
Maybe she holds the key, that little lady,
To getting more bucks.
Instead of less. Maybe we fix the game with something shady.
where does that put us?
Give you one guess.
Yes.
Yes. Easy Street. Easy Street. Annie is the key. Yes, sirree, yes, sirree, yes, sirree. Yeah. Easy Street. Easy Street. That's where we're gonna
Yes, Mr. President. No, I'm not asking for your help, but I'm telling you, you gotta do something. All right, we'll talk about it
Friday.
Friday. Now listen, Mr. President, why don't we bury the hatchet and you and Miss Roosevelt come over supper Christmas Eve? You will? All right, wonderful. Okay, goodbye, Mr. President. Grace, find out what Democrats eat.
Yes, sir.
And a package from Tiffany's.
Arrived this morning.
Fine. I'm gonna give it to her and then tell her I want to adopt her.
She's going to be the happiest little girl in the world.
Get her down here.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Annie, can we have a man-to-man talk?
You're sending me back to the orphanage, right?
No, of course not. Annie, I was born into a very poor family, and both my parents died before I was 10. So I made a promise to myself. Someday, one way or another, I was going to be rich. Very rich.
That was a good idea.
But lately I've realized something. No matter how much money you've got, if you've no one to share your life with, if you're alone, you might as well be broke. I was in Tiffany's yesterday and I picked this up for you.
Me? Gee, thanks, Mr. Warbucks. Oh, gee.
It's a silver locket, Annie. I noticed that old broken one you always wear, and I said to myself, I'm going to get that kid a nice new locket. Here, we'll just take this old one off.
No! I don't want a new one.
Annie, what is it?
This locket, my mom and dad left with me when they left me at the orphanage. And a note too. They're coming back for me. I know I'm real lucky being here with you for Christmas, but the one thing I want in all the world is to find my mother and father and to be like other kids with folks of my own.
It'll be all right. I'll find them. I'll find your parents for you, Annie.
Mr. Roebuck will find your mother and father if he has to put everyone in his organization on a job, if he has to pull every political string there is to pull.
Up to and including the White House. Annie, give me your locket.
But Mr. Warbucks.
I understand. But it could be our only real clue. We'll have the FBI trace it and find out who bought it.
Okay. Maybe they should have my note too.
You watch, Annie. You may be meeting your mother and father within a couple of days.
Really?
Really.
Oh boy, I've got to write a letter to the kids about this.
What a thing to occur, finding them, losing her. Oh, you won't be an orphan for long.
And pretty soon, everyone's going to know I'm looking for my mother and father, because we're going to go on the radio and tell them. So make sure you listen, okay? So maybe now it's time, and maybe when I wake, they'll be there calling me baby, maybe. So maybe now this prayer's the last one of its kind. Won't you please come get your baby,
Thank you, Annie, and welcome to America's favorite radio program, The Oxen Hour of Smiles, starring your old softie, Bert Healy. Thank you all for Warbucks. It's nice of you to drop by.
Thank you, Bert Healy. It's nice to be here.
Oliver Warbucks, I understand that you have something to tell the folks at home about little Annie here.
Yes, Bert Healy, I am now conducting a coast-to-coast nationwide search for Annie's parents. Furthermore, I'm offering a certified check for $50,000 to anyone who can prove they are Annie's parents.
Wow.
So Annie's parents, you can listen in right to Oliver Warbucks' care of this station. I can tell by the old clock on the wall that another one of our Thursday night get-togethers has gone by faster than you can say oxen. For now, it's your old softie, Mrs. Healy's boy, Bert, saying, Hey, hobo man, hey, dapper Dan, you both got your stones with brother going never fully dressed without a smile.
Gee, Annie on the radio, coast to coast, she's famous.
I wish I were on the radio.
Me too. Wants to be on the Dumble
so she'll be in the movies. Now get to bed. $50,000. What I couldn't do with $50,000.
Excuse us, ma'am. Are you the lady that runs this here orphanage?
Yeah?
Ma'am, was you working here 11 years ago?
Yeah?
We had terrible troubles back then. We had to leave our baby on the front stoop.
Our little girl, our Annie.
You're Annie's parents? I can't believe it. Where'd you say you came from again?
A little farm up in Canada. They've got lots of chickens and ducks and geese and roosters. Gotcha, sis.
Rooster, I never would have known it was you in 100 years.
Fooled you, Aggie. And we're gonna fool Warbucks too.
Get ourselves 50,000 big ones.
We need your help, sis, for details about Annie. That can help us pull this thing off.
What's in it for me?
3-way split.
Half.
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 Okay, 25 grand each. But we gotta do it fast. Get the money, get the kid, and get it to town.
The kid's the problem. What'd we do with her afterwards?
No problem. When I want something to disappear, it disappears. For good. We get the 50 grand, we blow this crummy town, then Lil and I will meet ya.
Where? Oh,
Easy street, easy street. Annie is the key.
Are you certain?
Yes, sir. None of them knew about the locket. I'm so sorry.
I'm sure some of us can be my mother and father.
Mr. Warbucks, this has just come from a special messenger from the FBI.
Finally. Agent Gunderson located the manufacturer of Annie's locket in Utica, New York.
Oh boy.
Over 90,000 were made and sold.
Oh gee.
Annie, I'm afraid the FBI doesn't think there's a chance in a million of locating your parents through the locket. I'm sorry.
That's okay, Mr. Warbucks. You did your best. Anyway, I guess a kid can get along without folks. You didn't turn out so bad.
Grace, do you have those legal papers I gave you the other day?
Right here.
Annie, I want to adopt you.
Adopt me?
Yes or no?
Well, if I can't have my real mother and father, there's no one else in the world I'd rather have for a father than you, Mr. Warbucks.
Annie, this isn't just going to be an adoption. It's going to be a celebration. And you can have anyone in the world you want to come. Who would you like?
Well, I guess I'd like Miss Farrell here, and Mr. Drake, and Mrs. Pugh, and, well, everybody here.
Drake,
Yes, sir.
tell the staff to get spiffed up. They're going to be guests at Annie's adoption party.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and the kids.
It'll be way past their bedtime now, but I'll tell you what. We'll have everyone here from the orphanage tomorrow for a big Christmas party.
Miss Hannigan, too.
Why not? Annie, I'm the luckiest man in the world.
And I'm the luckiest kid. Together at last, together forever, we're tying a knot we never can sever.
I don't need sunshine now to turn my skies to
I don't need anything with you. Yesterday was plain awful.
You can say that
are your mom and dad?
Mudge is the name, Ralph Mudge, and this is my wife, Shirley.
And you're Annie Mudge?
Annie Mudge?
We loved you, Annie, but we had to leave you behind. We've seen a great number of people who
I expect you'll be wanting some proof of who we are. Here's Annie's birth certificate and my driver's license.
Baby girl named Anne Elizabeth Mudge, born to Ralph and Shirley Mudge, New York, October 28, 1922.
October 28th. That's my birthday. Oh, Ralph, look. Annie's wearing the locket.
When we left Annie at the orphanage, we left half of a silver locket with her, and we kept the other half. Yes, it fits perfectly.
Oh, thank God, Ralph. She's our Annie.
Mr. Mudge, what about the money?
Well, we don't got much, but we're glad to give you whatever.
You haven't heard I'm offering a certified check for $50,000 to anyone who can prove they're Annie's parents?
No, sir. Anyway, we don't want your money.
On the other hand, Ralph, remember that little pig farm out in New Jersey? With $50,000, we could afford to bring Annie up right in the country.
Mr. Mudge, would you mind if Annie stayed here till tomorrow morning, Christmas? Then you could come back to pick up Annie and the check.
Whatever you prefer, sir.
Bye, Angela.
Until tomorrow morning, honey. Then you'll be spending the rest of your life with us. Oops. Pardon me, Toots. Merry Christmas.
Oh, this is...
Wonderful news.
Drake, champagne.
Yes, sir.
We must celebrate, because we've just had the most wonderful news in the world. Annie's found her mother and father. I propose a toast. To Annie Mudge.
To Annie Mudge. Annie!
I've lost her. Lost my Annie.
Sir, I have the strangest feeling that I've seen that Mr. Mudge, and that he's not who he says he is.
And I won't give her up. Not until we're certain.
But how?
I'll find a way. I'll go straight to the top. To the President of the United States. Even if he is a Democrat. Merry Christmas, Annie. You're up early.
You're up early, too.
I've been up all night, dear. FBI men coming and going. Annie, did you know President Roosevelt's here?
Really?
Mr. President?
Wow. Merry Christmas, President Roosevelt.
Merry Christmas, Annie. Annie, early this morning, FBI Director Hoover telephoned me some very sad news. He succeeded in tracing the identity of your parents.
Yes, Mr. and Mrs. Mudge.
No, dear. David and Margaret Bennett.
But
Annie.
Annie, your brother and father passed away a long time ago.
so you mean I'm an orphan after all?
Are you all right?
Yes. Because I know they loved me, and they would have come back
I
for me
love
if
you,
they
Annie
were.
Bennett.
I love you too. Now who the heck are Ralph and Shirley Mudge?
The birth certificate could easily have been forged, but nobody knew about the locket except us.
And the FBI, of course.
And Miss Hannigan.
And
Miss
Miss
Hannigan. Miss Hannigan, certainly children from your...
Hi, kids!
Ah, Miss Hannigan, I'm delighted to meet you.
Same here, and I know you anywhere.
Miss Hannigan, let me introduce you to everyone. You know my secretary, Miss Farrell, and this is the President of the United States. But that's my public traitor.
Look, kids, there's presents here for all of us.
Mr. Wilcox, this is just a card from the FBI.
Now it all makes sense.
Sir, Mr. and Mrs. Mudge.
Morning.
Merry Christmas, one and all.
Merry Christmas.
We don't want to bother you on Christmas and all. We just came to pick up Annie and the check.
Ah, yes. The check. Here it is, Mr. Mudge. Certified. $50,000.
Certified. $50,000. Paid to the order of... The jig is up!
Yes, the jig is up, Daniel Francis Hannigan, also known as...
Brewster Hannigan, also known as Ralph Mudge, also known as Danny the Dip.
Louis, turn them over.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and I believe you'll find this woman to be their accomplice.
I never seen these people till yesterday.
Ah, come off it, Aggie.
Annie, tell them how good and nice I always was to you.
Gee, I'm sorry, Miss Hannigan, but remember the one thing you always taught me? Never tell a lie.
Brat.
Miss Hannigan's gone for good.
Yay!
You'll never have to work again.
Yay!
Yes, girls, for you and perhaps for all of us, this Christmas is going to be the beginning of a wonderful new life. A new deal. Hey, I rather like that. A new deal.
So do I, Franklin. A new deal. The sun come out tomorrow.
Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow. Here's away the cobwebs and the sorrow. Till there's none. There's another day that's gray and lonely. I stick out my chin and grin and say, the sun will come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may, tomorrow, I love ya. Tomorrow, you're always a day away. Tomorrow, I love ya. Tomorrow, you're always a
Thank you.